Hello and welcome to the Party Center Speaks podcast. This is the podcast for family entertainment center and event venue owners, operators, managers, and staffers looking to grow their business. Want to learn more about how you can increase party bookings, improve facility operations, and other topics? This is the podcast for you. My name is Laura Cañellas, and I'm the marketing manager here at Party Center Software. In this episode, we're going to share audio from our webinar on collecting customer data, the shift to personalization and marketing. We hope you enjoy this presentation.
Today, we are talking about collecting customer data and the shift to personalization in marketing. Of course, as you all know, and I'm sure while you're here, we have Hound on with us today. So I'm very excited about that. If we haven't met yet, hi, welcome to the webinar. My name is Rebecca Toomey. I'm the Director of Sales and Customer Success here at Party Center Software. If you're not familiar with Party Center Software, we offer online booking and facility management features to make booking parties a breeze. We love helping business owners. That's one of the reasons we do this webinar series. It's completely free and it's here just to help you grow your business. We want to see you succeed. And if you're interested in Party Center Software, here's a little bit about what we do. We offer a point of sale, online waivers, of course, online party booking, event management, advanced reporting, customer database, employee management, so much more. We also have an amazing team of CSMs that are here to help grow your business. And so let me introduce you to a couple of the folks on our team. You'll see their little faces as well. We have Megan Hawkins. She is our lead customer success consultant here, and she just celebrated her 4-year anniversary with Party Center Software. So please give her a big round of applause and congratulations. She's been such an amazing asset to the company, and we just love having her. She's a great teammate. Alex Keller, he is a customer success consultant here as well as Courtney. And we've got our CSM team, the first two ladies here, Eileen Hawkins and Tanya Barnett. They are our customer success managers. That means that for our customers here at Party Center Software, these two lovely ladies are here to make sure that you succeed and book lots and lots of parties. And then of course we have Cam. Her first name is Megan, but we have two Megans, so we call her Cam. She is our marketing manager and she makes it all happen when it comes to marketing. Big thank you from us here at Party Center Software. We are so appreciative that you guys are taking the time to join this webinar. If you're on this webinar live, if you're watching it on replay, we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it as well. No further ado, it is time to introduce our expert, Adam Russell. He is the Director of Sales at Hound. And Adam has over a decade of experience driving foot traffic into small businesses. And at Hound, he's helped thousands of FECs to drive more birthday party business and revenue through a number of things. He uses email, social, web, and app communications. And Hound believes that the newsletter is a dying channel and that the effortless foot traffic starts with actionable communications. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What you can do instead of just that newsletter to drive more traffic into your business. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Adam. He has an awesome presentation. He's going to go through some things. If you have questions during this webinar, please click that Q&A button, throw your questions in there, and we will get to them either during or at the end of Adam's presentation. So Adam, take it away. But you have to go off mute first.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. And thanks for everybody else at Party Center Software for inviting us to be part of this webinar today. We're super excited to talk to you guys about how to drive effortless foot traffic into your location by sending the right messages to the right people at the right time. So before we jump into things, wanted to just put my contact information out there. If anybody has any questions or wants to touch base after the presentation, feel free to reach out through email or phone call, as well as ask questions throughout the presentation so that we can go ahead and cater this to your guys' needs and what you guys want to get answers to. So without further ado, I want to first kind of talk about what we're gonna discuss today. So first, we want to discuss who you are as a business, being able to craft that vision, that purpose, and that mission, as well as what do you guys want to achieve as a business. So as the marketing's changing to more personalized, we need to be able to set goals, both strategic and marketing, in order to achieve the goals that you put in front of you. Number 3 is we want to find out who are your customers. So who is the target persona that you guys are looking to go after? 4, we'll find out how do we want to connect with those customers. So how do we identify the channels that your customers are on or your target demographics are on, and how do we reach those customers through those channels? And then 5, and this is a really important piece of this, is what do we say to those target personas? So each demographic is a little bit different, and they're going to be on different channels where we'll be able to find and really attract those people to come into your business. But as we shift to personalization and marketing, which we'll discuss, we need to make sure we're sending out the right message to the right person at the right time, which leads us to number 6, which is how do we know if it's working or not? We need to make sure that we're tracking what we're doing with our marketing, and we're able to refine and then also repeat what works, okay? So by following these simple steps, you guys will be able to accelerate the amount of foot traffic that's coming through your door, but more importantly, personalize the messaging to the actual customer rather than just sending something out to everybody all at once. So to set the stage, I want to first talk about some of the changes that we've seen in consumer trends, okay? What we've seen just by working with thousands of businesses, as well as what we see just in the marketplace alone, is in-store sales are down. Brick and mortar locations fell by about 3.5% last year, while online sales have grown. So people are buying more online. They're also looking for easy and frictionless. If you look at Amazon as an example, the one-click technology that is used by Apple, used by Google, used by Samsung and PayPal makes it as easy as possible for customers to purchase from you wherever they bump into you online. Also, the longer that the purchase process takes, the more likely somebody's going to abandon that process. So the data shows about 26% of customers will abandon a purchase process just because it took too long. So we need to eliminate those steps and make it as easy and frictionless as possible in order for that customer to be able to make that purchase on their own accord. A big one that surprised me when we were looking into this data is 35% of Amazon's revenue that was generated last year is from its recommendation engine. So what that means, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in detail, is that when you buy something through Amazon and they recommend like products that are similar or complement that product, they actually drove 35% of their revenue from that recommendation engine, which goes back to that personalization and marketing. Also, 50% of smartphone shoppers said they rely on a digital wallet to make their purchases this year. So having something that's easy for them to use and purchase from is key to changing this kind of personalization in the consumer trends. So as we've seen consumers change, we've also seen the major players change in the market. I'm sure all of you guys have logged into your Netflix account, if you have Netflix, and you see that about 90% of what shows up on your screen is recommended to you based on what you've watched in the past. So they're collecting that data, they're using that data to then recommend something that is personalized to you. Same thing with Spotify. You log into Spotify, it's gonna start playing the music that you listen to the most, but then it'll also start recommending other things that match the same genre of music and things that they know that you're going to like. And that leads me back to Amazon. 35% of the revenue that was generated from the largest company in the world was generated by recommending things that were similar to what they had purchased before. So if we look at at the concept of one-to-one versus one-to-many, we need to think about this in a personalization standpoint. And we'll talk about each of these things a little bit more throughout the presentation. But the concept of one-to-one versus one-to-many is evident, one, in newsletters. Newsletters are something that you blast out to your whole email database, which might not be relevant to the people that are reading it, or they might not read it at all. Whereas a promotion is something that somebody can take action from. They can either purchase it, they can either claim it, and now you're able to actually start tracking the results and the benefits of running those types of promotions and seeing what's going to get those customers through the door at the highest rate. We take this to social media and we look at Facebook advertising as an example. Boosting a post compared to custom audience. Boosting posts, just blast it out to everybody that's on your guys' database within Facebook, whereas a custom audience is going to get it more tailored to that actual customer or demographic that you guys are looking to go after, and put the right message in front of the right customer at the right time. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about custom audience here in a bit, if anybody has any questions on how to use that to the best ability. And that leads us back to, once again, sending the right message at the right time. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already doing things with birthday blasts. So sending out a monthly birthday blast to people who have birthdays coming up in order to get them to come in. What we want to do is start thinking about how can we send a targeted birthday drip. So how can we send something out to that busy mom or dad at the perfect time so that they can take advantage of it in an easy way, and then we can follow up with those people to kind of nurture them or push them over the finish line. So we'll talk about each of these in a little bit more detail as we go on, but just wanted to kind of high level go over this here at the beginning. So what I mean by this, and Danny DeVito says it best, is consumers want personalized marketing. They want meaningful contact. They don't want constant contact. No one wants constant contact from a business, right? They want to have things that are relevant to them, that they can take action on, and that they're getting at a time when we know they're most likely going to take advantage of it. So like I said, Danny DeVito says it best. Did you read my newsletter? As you guys, I'm sure, are seeing in your own analytics, newsletter open rates are going down. People are not reading newsletters as often as they used to. And instead of sending out a monthly newsletter, think about using newsletters as major announcements, and then sending out actual promotions that can drive foot traffic back into your location on a more monthly cadence. So I want to give an example of how a small business has basically taken what we are promoting here and have used this in a real case. And this is something that was completely done with or without Hound, right? And then this business that I'm going to use as an example is a nursery here in Tempe. This nursery sold me a tree. If you see this tree back here. And when I bought the tree, they actually were trying to sell me a warranty on the tree. They probably knew I wasn't a green thumb and I was probably going to lose the tree. However, I didn't take advantage of that warranty. They also tried to sell me what they called their moon juice. And this was, basically something that would help the tree grow fast. And of course I decided, I think I can handle it on my own. Well, about 6 weeks after I purchased the tree, dug the hole, put the tree in the ground, I started to see the leaves starting to wilt up, turn a little yellow. At that exact same time, I received a communication from Boone Valley Nurseries promoting their moon juice, because they knew, one, I didn't buy that warranty, and two, that about 6 weeks without using their moon juice, and I'm not a green thumb or a expert in a nursery, then they would go ahead and promote their moon juice to me at that perfect time. What that did is that got me thinking, I need this right away. I went in, I bought about 4 gallons of this moon juice. I still have about 3.5 gallons of the moon juice sitting on my shelf. But what this nursery was able to do was see that they could send the right message to me at the right cadence in order to get me to take advantage of something where I might not necessarily have done it on that first visit. So it's about that personalization into what the actual customer's buying from you or how they're experiencing your business, and then trying to drive them to come back in to your business through doing this. Has anybody seen examples of this in their own marketplace, I'd like to get some ideas through the Q&A on where you guys have seen this used in your guys' own local communities on sending out the right message to the right person at the right time.
That is such a great question, Adam. And while folks are throwing that in the Q&A chat, I have 2 questions for you. Question number 1, is the tree still alive?
Is the tree still alive? Yes, the tree is definitely still alive.
Question number 2, can you send me the rest of the moon juice? I have some plants that I think could benefit from it.
It's on sale from Adam's store right now, half off of what I paid for Moon Nurseries.
Black Friday special.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right, so we've got one question or comment here from Brittany. For PD, day camp offers sending them out the week before as a reminder to parents and offering a day camp for laser tag and mini paintball. I don't know if I read that too fast.
Can you repeat that one more time?
For PD, day camp offers sending them out the week before as a reminder to parents and offering a day camp for laser tag and mini paintball.
Definitely. So with how we set up our drips is we do a 60, a 45 day, a 30, and a 21 cadence. So what I mean by that is we'll send out something 60 days before a birthday with a special or something that they can take advantage of. And if they don't take advantage of those on those 60, 30, or 15-day cadence, we'll send out something on a 7-day right before their birthday with a kind of a last-minute offer that could be a special that can drive them back in for something like a day camp or just, let's say, open play or anything like that. Because we know that they're probably not coming in for that big birthday party at that time.
Mm-hmm. We got some clarification, by the way. A PD day, which I didn't know this. Thank you, Brittany, for clarifying. A PD day is an educational day in Canada when schools are closed.
Yeah, we have those as well in the US, professional development days for teachers.
Okay, cool.
Great. Yeah. So in that case, what you could do is use your newsletter to still send out that announcement, but have one of our actionable promotions embedded in that newsletter so somebody can literally click and either buy a special or take advantage of a special that drives foot traffic back into your location that's easily trackable so you know what's working best. And then that next year when that PD day comes up, we're able to learn from our previous experiences on what worked last year and then go ahead and come up with an offering or a promotion that'll speak to the actual customers we're trying to get to come in the door.
Cool. We had another comment in here, birthday party promotions in the prior birthday month, which always a great thing to do.
That's exactly it. And automation is key in that whole process because I'm sure as a lot of you guys have seen, pulling that list on a monthly basis can be time consuming, right? And figuring out, how to send these out and what cadence to send these out. So as you guys are looking to drive more effortless foot traffic into your locations, using the automation piece of a software like Hound or some other software that can drive that foot traffic into your location is key so that you can focus on running your business and allow those automated pieces to drive that foot traffic into your location.
Absolutely. Well, if anyone has any other ones they want to throw out there, feel free to throw them out, and Adam, I'll let you keep going.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. So I want to put a quote here, and I always like to talk about this quote because I think it's relevant to exactly what we're discussing here today. And that personalization wasn't supposed to be a cleverly veiled way to chase prospects around the web, showing them the same spammy ad for the same lame stuff as everyone else sees. It's a chance to differentiate at a human scale, to use behavior as the most important clue about what people want and, more important, what they need. Okay, so this goes back to what the big companies are already doing. And this is why it's so key for us as small business owners to be able to start looking at what the big companies are already doing and make that relevant to ourselves. And this goes back to Amazon, this goes back to Netflix, this goes back to Spotify. These companies have already figured out that if we curate the experience for the consumer, they're going to spend more with us and they're going to come back more often, right? So it's not about just sending out a mass message to everybody in your email database and putting all of your specials in there, right? It's about sending out the right message to the right customer at the right time, which goes back into that birthday concept, right? About sending out the message before the birthday and making it as easy as possible for somebody to say that they want to have a birthday party with you. And then what you'll see with what our software does is it'll automatically follow up with those interested parties to get them over the finish line. So it's all about, like I said, getting the right message in front of the right person when they're most likely to come into your business. So one of the things I wanted to, talk about or ask you guys is, what are some of the ways that you guys collect data now? How are you guys collecting data from your customers, and where are you seeing it be the easiest to collect, or where are some of the roadblocks that you're finding when you're asking customers for data when they're not giving it to you?
Great question. And while folks are responding to that, so what are some ways you collect data now? Please throw that in the Q&A or in the chat. We've got 2 questions in here. This one I think we'll probably get to at some point, so I don't know if now is the right time, Adam. You tell me. Okay. How does Hound integrate with the PCS customer database? It's a great question. Are you going to get into that a little later?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. And then from Spencer, we have, for family entertainment like laser tag, arcade, and similar businesses, does cold calling local churches, schools, and other group-oriented businesses still work in the field?
Definitely. So there is value to doing constant outreach to larger organizations like the church groups, like the corporate parties. One of the ways, though, that we can help out with that process is by putting something on your website that speaks to those types of organizations when they come to look for where they're going to have an event like that. So we can put something, just the same kind of concept as a birthday funnel, where we want to make it as easy as possible to say that they're interested. Hound will be able to put a pop-up on your website that'll collect information from people that are interested in having, let's say, a holiday party. That's a perfect example. We have a lot of customers now that are using our website pop-up to say, hey, come have a holiday party with us and get 10% off if you had booked by November, right? And what that does is that generates a warm lead list for your team to call. So instead of having to do a cold call, they're actually able to do a warm call with somebody who's already expressed interest because they came to your guys' site and they saw that you guys had some sort of special in place for corporate parties, for holiday parties, or for church groups. Another way that it works really well is if you have like a foundation, or you guys have some sort of event that you want to help kind of sell additional tickets for that's at your location, we build custom landing pages that are what we call buy nows, that'll actually allow that organization to take that landing page and promote that out to their existing database to go ahead and get more sales for that foundation or for that organization, to drive more sales for you as well. So I hope that kind of answered it. If it didn't, we can talk a bit more offline and kind of give you some specific use cases of how our platform is used now.
Awesome. I think we've got some shy folks in this webinar. Come on, guys, give me some more answers. What are some ways that you're collecting data now? We've got one in here. We have a birthday club our consumers sign up for, is what we've got in here.
How are you guys collecting data? How are you guys collecting data on site? Are you guys doing anything to collect data when somebody arrives? And are you guys doing anything to collect data from somebody online, so off of your website, in a sense? Those are the 2 areas that we're looking to kind of explore with you today.
We're getting some answers now. Okay, so we've got guessing jar for customers to guess the closest number to the candy to win a gift card. They add email on guessing paper. We have birthday club, text list, contest, card registration, email club form on website, and then we've got a savvy one here, waivers.
There we go. We love waivers. Yes. And the reason why we love waivers is because it collects all the necessary information in order to reach back out to that person with the right message at the right time. And what I mean by that is we're not only getting the name and the email of that busy parent, right? But we're also getting the birthdays of the kids that they're signing the waiver for. So now what we're able to do is start sending out the right message to that busy parent 60 days or 45 days before that birthday with a compelling message of something that they will want to take advantage of because they're already in the market of looking where they're going to have that birthday party. So that is what I would say is the number one way that we work best, is if you have a waiver system. However, if you don't have a waiver system, you want to just put a pop-up on your website. That's going to be the first place that we're going to be able to collect you data from when somebody comes to your site. Typically, when somebody comes to your site, you have their interest for about 30 seconds. During that 30 seconds, you need to either capture their data or get their business. Before they leave your website, they're back to the Google search and they're looking at the next business on the listing. So what we want to do is, even if you aren't running any sort of package, special, or promotion, is always be collecting data on your website. And I heard Birthday Club come up, which that's awesome. That's one of the ways that we're going to go ahead and help you collect more data by saying, hey, join our Birthday Club and get XYZ, right? So it could be join our Birthday Club and get a buy one, get one free pass. What this does is it doesn't just incentivize somebody to give you their data for that buy one, get one free, but it does, in a sense, monetize that funnel right away. Because how we set it up is they'll give you their name, they'll give you their email, they'll give you their birthdays, plus all of their kids' birthdays. But more importantly, we'll then send them an offer with a buy one, get one free that they can literally purchase in under 30 seconds. So not only did we collect a birthday, not only did we collect an email, but we actually got a direct purchase where 100% of the revenue now went into your bank account. And then that customer will actually walk through your doors with that pre-purchased revenue. So that's how we can kind of monetize collecting data right away. The other way that we're going to help you collect data is offline. So for those people who aren't running a waiver system, a great way to collect data is through Wi-Fi. I'm sure a lot of you guys are giving out free Wi-Fi to customers when they come through the door. What we want to do is we want to monetize that Wi-Fi for you. So just like a hotel, when you go into a hotel and you want to get on their Wi-Fi, they're going to ask you for the room number and your email to get on. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to ask for email, not credit card, just joking, but email, web, and birthday, and make sure that we make it as easy as possible for that person to get on. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take that a step further, because we know they're in your location. We know that they actually came in. So let's send them something to get them to spend more money on that visit, right? A coupon, let's say for like a free icy, or let's get them something to get them to come back on a shorter visit. So the next day they get something in their email that says, hey, come back to our business within the next 2 weeks and get XYZ, right? What we're doing is we know that person was in your location. We know we can collect that data from that person while they're there. But let's also then send them what we call as a bounce back offer to get that customer to come back in a shorter period of time. So this goes back to kind of what I was saying and what we'll talk about next, which is sending out the right message to the right person in the right channel.
Cool. Let's pause for 1 second before you continue on. We had a couple more comments I wanted to throw out here. So clarification on the waivers. We had someone who said we use waivers for one of our products for insurance purposes, but our other products don't require it, which logistically is great, but we miss on that contact detail. So is it ever worth it to add a quote unneeded waiver?
In my opinion, if you're already having waivers be signed for one of your attractions, you might as well just have a waiver be signed for as many of those attractions as possible, because it's just such an easy way to collect the data. And I know, with Party Center, you guys have a great waiver system as well. So it's easy for us to add that on and be able to start collecting that data. And it's the best way to collect it because it gets all the necessary information. If you don't have a waiver system, though, the second best way is through the Wi-Fi, because everybody's coming in and they're all getting on Wi-Fi. Especially if you promote that you have free Wi-Fi, more people will get on it. And all those busy parents that are at the birthday parties and are hanging out and watching their kids, those are the ones that you want to capture when they're in there. And that's an easy way for you to do that, is to get that information if you don't have waivers.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And this is kind of a side note, but what some folks do as well, in addition to the waiver being for, as you mentioned, insurance purposes and some other things, they'll also have their photography clause in there. so that when the customer is signing it, they're also signing that you can use photos in your marketing efforts and things like that, which can also be a fun little thing to have for later down the road.
Yeah, that's
We've got another one here. We have a ton of people that visit our site from Google. How does Hound capture people visiting our site from Google?
great question. So as I said before, when somebody comes from a Google search and they land on your website, you typically only have their interest for 30 seconds or less. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to put something in front of them that's going to capture their attention, but more importantly, it's going to create an action that they can take in order to drive foot traffic into your location. So an easy example is one of our website pop-ups that can either have data collection, right, tied to an incentive like we just talked about. So give us your data, join our birthday club, and we'll send you a buy one, get one free, right, that they actually are able to purchase. So it collects data and it drives foot traffic. A lot of our businesses will do like a package on their website. So, here's a family fun pack for 4, and it's an actual buy now promotion. So somebody will actually be able to click on it, put in their credit card, and purchase that in under 30 seconds using that same technology as like an Amazon or a Google or a Samsung is using to expedite and make the buy process more efficient, right? So we're mimicking those same kind of technologies as the big players are doing, but we're just applying it to you guys as small business owners.
Awesome. All right. Keep going, man. This is awesome.
Great. So the next thing we want to talk about is, where are your customers at? Lots of different, businesses I'm sure that are on here today have different demographics or different personas that they're looking to go after. And typically, different demographics are on different channels. And that's why you need to first identify who you're trying to go after, and then try to find what the best channels are to go after that person. And that goes back to the right place. So we were talking earlier about churches, charities, companies. Those are obviously great for more brand awareness and making sure that you're aware, where offline media does sometimes work well in reaching out to those people. Pairing that alongside with our website pop-up that can help kind of be a lead generator in that sense. As well as moms, dads, teens, and young adults are typically going to be found more on social media, right? So this goes back into making sure that you have a strong social media presence, but more importantly, you have a way that somebody can take action from one of your promotions or one of your offerings on social media. So one of the things that Hound does is we'll be able to push any sort of buy now or coupon directly onto your guys' social media page, so right onto Facebook, which then leads me back to what we were talking about earlier with Facebook custom audience. So this is just a little pro tip that I want to give you guys on making it easier to get in front of the right people on social media. What you can actually do with Facebook is you can take your guys' email list and you can bounce that against Facebook's database. And for anybody who logs into Facebook with the same email, we'll be able to put an offer directly in their newsfeed that they can click and purchase in under 30 seconds with that same one-click technology that like the Amazon is using directly from you. And what's cool about Hound is 100% of those funds goes directly in your bank account, no matter where that purchase comes from, okay? And social media is a vital piece for you guys to be able to drive revenue through. And using things like custom audience is going to make that even easier and accelerate that even further. Then we obviously have the standard channels like email marketing, website, right? These go pretty much across all different demographics. And the key there is just to optimize these places so that we can optimize for conversions, right? It's not just about having a website. It's not just about sending a newsletter. It's about making it easy for somebody to buy, claim, purchase, whatever the action is that you guys are trying to create through your communication. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to do that and then be able to track that back to your business so we know how many purchases are coming from website, how many purchases are coming through your email marketing, how many are coming through social media, or off of any of these other channels that you're trying to drive traffic through. Any questions on the right place or custom audience?
Throw your questions if you got them. Q&A or in the chat, whatever works for you guys.
Awesome. So let's move on to the right time. Yogi Berra had a great quote: you don't have to swing hard to hit a home run. If you got the timing, it'll go, right? So this goes back to making sure we're sending out the right communication at the right time. This here, what you're looking at is an example of our birthday coupon. So you'll notice if you guys look at our coupon compared to probably something that you guys have done or have used another service to provide, is what we're asking a busy parent to do at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning is not pick up the phone and call you. It's not to click a button and book, right? Because what we found is 98% of parents are gonna opt to do this later. They might be interested in having a birthday party with you, but it's 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning and it's 45 days before the birthday. They're probably not gonna know how many kids they wanna have come to the party. They're probably not even gonna know what day they wanna have the party yet. But even though they're interested in having a party with you, if your call to action is to pick up the phone and call them, like I said, it's gonna get lost in the inbox. They're gonna forget about it and they're not going to do it. So the biggest difference between our funnel and a funnel that you potentially have had set up is we're gonna make it easy for that busy parent to just say, hey, I'm interested. So all they have to do is put in their email address and claim a coupon. What happens is we put a date on this. So we're gonna say at the 60 days, book a party in the next 2 weeks and get XYZ. So get 20% off any party package. What happens is as soon as they claim that, they're gonna get redemption instructions. So it'll have a link back to your Party Center software for them to go and book, or it'll have your phone number for them to call if they have any questions. But remember, 98% of parents are gonna opt to do this later. Even when we send that coupon, it'll get lost in the inbox. They'll end up having the party somewhere else. So what we do is we remind that busy parent with automated reminders 6 days and 2 days before the coupon expires. So we say, hey, don't forget you were interested in taking advantage of 20% off any party package. You have 6 days left to book before that coupon expires. By doing that, we nudge these busy parents over the finish line. We typically see about a 30% increase in the amount of party bookings you guys are doing just by following up with these busy parents. Okay, so it goes back to sending the right message at the right time, but not just that, making it as easy as possible for them to do business with you through one click, whether that's buying from you or whether that's for one of these larger party packages, getting them to claim a coupon and then putting the money in at Party Center software or when they actually arrive. Okay. Any questions on the right time? I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on this piece.
Doesn't look like it.
Cool. So that goes back to the last piece that we talked about at the beginning, which is how do we track this? How do we see what's working? And how do we know it's working best? Okay. So what we do is at Hound is we give you a dashboard, but really with any marketing that you do, whether it's with us or not, you should just make sure that everything you do is trackable so that you know how much money you've made off of that campaign, how many customers have actually purchased, claimed, or bought something. And then more importantly, how many of those have actually walked through your door and used the promotion or used the offer that they bought from you. So how we do it is just put everything on a really easy dashboard for you, the business owner, to be able to log in, see what's running, see what the performance is on those things, and then be able to obviously analyze that data and make changes as you move forward. One of the cool things about our software is it does a lot of that A/B testing in the background. So we'll actually test different percentages off to optimize the results and make sure that we're getting you guys the most profit per customer as possible. So that leads me next to crafting our target profiles. So this is something that I think is key for everybody to go through this exercise. And even though you might think you know who your target profile is, by going through this exercise, you might find that you have some different demographics that you really haven't been focusing on that could still come in and see a ton of value of coming into your business. So the first thing you need to find out is who's your target market. What is the demographics you guys are going after? Once you've determined the different subsets of demographics you're going after, you then can start putting together a profile of what do they actually like to do. So what is important for this demographic? What's the emotional reason behind them coming into the business? And what is the pain point that we're solving for that business, okay? And then we need to find out where are they actually spending their money now? So where does that demographic spend their time, both online and offline, as well as what social channels are they on? Do they actually redirect mail, right, that comes into their mailbox? Or where do they spend time in their community? Because that'll help us determine on what channels we need to send out communications in order to reach that demographic. So by first figuring out who you want to go after, figure out what they actually like to do, and putting messaging together that will speak to that, and then finding the channels that they're on will expedite the whole process for your business on getting in front of those right people at the right time with the right message. So where do we start? Well, effective marketing is trackable. That goes back to what we do here with Hound. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to know where your customers are coming from and how much revenue is being produced, as well as automation. So automation is key, especially for business owners. Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, they've all spent millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in order to automate their process and to put this messaging out in front of the right people at the right time. That's important for you guys as small business owners to do as well. And by using something like Hound or another tool that you can automate these processes, it'll just allow you to focus on running your business and allow the automation to drive that foot traffic into your location. Third is you must collect data. So we talked about a few different strategies on collecting data today. There's obviously many different ways you can collect data. I love the jelly bean idea where you guess the amount of jelly beans. Just make sure that you're getting that data digitally, not just on a piece of paper that goes and sits in a desk somewhere and never gets put into a actual database, because the data has to be either in Party Center or in a Hound platform in order for it to be monetized. And then also finish your first customer profile. So what I mean by that is you might have many customer profiles, but what the exercise should be is to at least get your main customer profile done so that you understand who they are, what they like to do, and where they hang out, right? Because then we can figure out how we want to get in front of those people the most effective way to drive that foot traffic back into your location. So that pretty much wraps up my presentation piece here on collecting customer data and the shift to personalization and marketing. As I said before, you can reach me directly at adam@hound.com or my phone number here, 480-360-0611. I will be able to answer any of your questions or put you in contact with a team member here that can answer your questions both for current and new customers that would come on board with us. So just let me know, like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that. I'd like to now open it up for Q&A and answer any questions that you guys have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. I will swap the screen over in a second. We'll go ahead. I'll throw a question at you first.
Okay.
Which we have from Deanna. She says, is Hound formerly known as FetchRev?
That is
Here's
correct.
your opportunity.
That is correct. So we repositioned our brand in October to Hound. And the reason why is we're both consumer and merchant facing. FetchRev was all about fetching revenue, right? So we'd go out and we'd fetch the revenue and bring it back. We decided that consumers probably wouldn't be happy with us saying we're going to fetch your revenue from you and bring it to the merchant. So we switched to Hound. Also, a very key piece of this while we're on that is we've also switched our pricing model in that sense too. So we're basically putting our money where our mouth is. We've seen so much success with FetchRev and driving foot traffic back into the locations of family entertainment centers that we're now offering our software on our starter plan for free. And then you just pay us what we call as a pay per visit fee. So when somebody actually walks through your door with one of our promotions on their phone, that's when we actually charge you a pay per visit fee. And for the FEC industry, we have very, very, very low costs on that pay per visit fee. Everything's under $5 per customer to drive that customer through the door. So what we've done is we've eliminated the upfront cost for the software. We made it super easy for you guys to come on board, get the full value of the system, and then just pay us when that actually walks through your door. So like I said, we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're so confident that the software works that we can take that risk away from you guys as the business owner, put the risk on our end, and then prove it to you guys through the results.
Cool, cool. Am I still off of, I'm on or off mute here? I'm checking all the questions, all the areas for chat. Thank you for clarifying that. There was another question that Eileen actually did answer, but I wanted to throw it out there for those of you that didn't know. Someone asked if Party Center allows for promo codes. We do. And Eileen would be happy to show you how to set that up and do that. So just want to throw that out there. All right, we've got another question here. What's the best way to use a custom audience for Facebook?
So the best way that we've seen the best results is by just literally taking your email list, uploading that into Facebook. They'll then match those with the actual logins of your current customers. So the difference between boosting a post is it's going to boost it out to all of your fans, whether or not they've been into your business. When you have their email address, let's say from sitting in Party Center software, you know that customer's been in before. It's a lot cheaper to remarket to a current customer than then go out and get a brand new customer for the first time. So use Facebook and use custom audience to get your message out to the people who are most likely going to purchase based on the fact that they've been into your business before. And that's going to be the most cost-effective way to use Facebook advertising, because if you're just advertise to everybody in your area, or let's say to one set demographic, it can tend to get a little bit costly. But if you're sending it out to the right person with the right message who's been into your business before on the right channel, you're more likely to get them to actually take advantage and purchase through that custom audience campaign.
Mm-hmm. And since we're still talking about Facebook, someone else had a question for the Facebook audience from your emails. Does a lookalike audience also work well?
Yes, definitely. So lookalike is it'll take your email list and it'll see who those people are that are logging in with those same emails. And then the next kind of step or progression would be lookalike. It'll find people who look like the people who have been into your business before, and it'll advertise to those people. So the most cost-effective way is going to be to do a custom audience. Once you've actually started to see results off a custom audience and you want to start expanding your advertising, lookalike is a great way to do that. And then you can also just advertise to certain demographics in your area, which, like I said, is not necessarily the best and most cost-effective way when you have these other custom audience or lookalike audience that you can exploit first.
Awesome. And Adam, since we have a lot of Party Center software customers on this webinar right now, can you speak a little bit to the integration between what we're doing here at Party Center software and what you guys are doing at Hound and how we work together?
Yeah, great question. So the integration with Party Center software, we'll be able to pull all of your guys' data on a daily basis. So what I mean by that is you guys will never have to go and export a list or export a birthday list and get that over to Hound. We'll pull that on a daily basis from your system, and then we'll automate all of those communications. So we'll automate the birthday drip, and we'll automate all the data funnel drips that are happening behind the scenes. And then on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis or however you guys do your promotion schedule, all you would need to do is just come into our system, put whatever product or service you want to discount, put the max threshold you're willing to discount, and then what we'll do is we'll build out and design all of those specific campaigns behind the scenes and push those across those different channels like website, email, Facebook, and then our MyHound app as well. But the integration will just pull that data directly from your system, and then eventually the integration will be pushing data back into your guys' system as well.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Nancy was looking for some clarification. Did you say Hound sends email reminders out to anyone who has claimed an offer?
So what I mean by that is on a birthday drip, if somebody claims a birthday drip, let's say they claim a 60-day birthday drip, we'll send reminders to that person to remind them that their coupon is expiring. So we put a short coupon expiration on these birthday drips because we want to create urgency and we want people to take action. But we will send out reminders to anybody who claims a coupon as that expiration date approaches. So that's totally flexible on your end on what you want that expiration to be. So let's say you just want to do a $5 off coupon for anybody. So it doesn't have anything to do with birthdays. You would set an expiration date on that. And let's say you wanted to say that was 60 days. What we would do then is as that expiration date got closer, we would start sending reminders to that person to say, hey, don't forget to use this special. Don't forget to use this coupon.
Cool.
Did that answer that question for you?
I think so. If not, shoot back in the chat and let us know if you need more clarification. This one made me smile. Have you found out where the limit is of how much contact you can make with a customer before you upset them?
That's a great question. That goes back to sending the right message to the right customer at the right time and not blasting your list, right? So the more segmented that we can have your list, the more relevant that we can make the messaging to the right people. And that kind of goes back to our theory of newsletters is they're great for announcements, but they're not great for driving foot traffic into your location. Plus, if you start sending out a ton of newsletters along with promotions and things like that, you could, potentially blast your list and have people start opting out of your communication. So there's a very fine line, which our software actually analyzes data across all of our customers and sends out the right message at the right time to your customer database as well. We will never blast your guys' list or, if we see people opting out, we'll pull back on that threshold.
Cool. So
I've got a question for you, Adam, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So we've been talking a lot about collecting data to get more foot traffic into your door, but what are some ways that you can suggest that you can market more intimately to your repeat customers so that, using their data, using their names to keep their loyalty to your business, those people that are coming in time and time again and being able to keep those people versus driving more traffic?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously staying top of mind with your guys' customer base is important. So that is where a newsletter with that kind of information will keep you top of mind. I just recommend that if you're going to send a newsletter, put a special in that newsletter that somebody can take action on. Because now what you're able to do is instead of just tracking email opens and clicks, you can actually track real revenue from your newsletter campaign. So I definitely believe that staying top of mind with those people is important. And then more importantly, with custom audience, right? Putting a message out in front of somebody on a different channel that's relevant to them is definitely very important as well. But the whole goal of what we believe here at Hound is driving action should be the main focus for the business, and the announcement should come as a secondary to that. But we want to make it as easy as possible for somebody to give you their money or give you their business wherever they bump into you online.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's great, especially when you mentioned segmenting. You can have a list of all your repeat customers and send, a thank you for being a loyal customer type of promotion. Things
yes,
like that.
Exactly.
So someone said, exactly what data do you recommend collecting from the guest? What specific data are you looking for?
Yeah, so the biggest pieces are going to be name, email, and birthday. What's really cool though about our date collectors is they don't just collect, that parent's birthday, because, that's probably not going to do us a ton of good, but we'll be able to collect all of their kids' birthdays. And you'd be surprised to see how many parents put in their full family, right? I can show you guys some data offline of, each family's putting in 4, 5, 6 different birthdays, which then get fed into our system, and we're automatically sending out messages to those people as their birthdays get closer, right? So That was what I would say would be the biggest pieces of information you guys can capture, because birthdays are such a big piece of the revenue stream for, I'm sure, the majority of the people on the phone today or on the webinar today. So that is where I would think would be the 3 biggest pieces of information you can get is name, email, and birthdays.
Cool. Do you think that online offers and coupons should fully replace paper coupons and vouchers, or should you pursue both?
It really depends on who your target persona is, right? If you have people who are still coming in with those types of coupons, then don't stray away from using those types of coupons. If you guys see people coming in off of direct mail, then don't stray away from using it. The key to the whole thing is just making it as easy as possible for people to purchase from you with how they want to purchase from you. So that goes back to the personalization, right? If you're seeing success, don't stop doing what you're doing. Just try other things as well, right? So offline media, offline advertising can work really well depending on where you are in the country, right? Other places might do a lot better with digital than with traditional marketing. So it really depends on where you are and what's working. But the shift is going towards, an easy, more frictionless way for somebody to be able to take advantage of a special or promotion.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Any thoughts on kids who are guests of birthday parties and any opportunity to get their details when the kid is 8 years old and doesn't have their own email address and the parent is not in attendance? What's the trick?
The trick would be to implement a waiver system so that parent had to give that data before the kid came in for the birthday party, even if the parent wasn't there or not. If you're not able to do that, then the only way that you could potentially get it would be through Wi-Fi. But we typically obviously aren't collecting data from the kids alone. It needs to come from the parent that then gives us the data of the family. So I would say the easiest way would be to have some sort of, maybe even like a birthday party permission slip that you guys could have, that people could, the parents that aren't going to be there would fill out for that kid before they came to your facility. But if you could find a way to implement an online waiver, that is going to be the easiest and fastest way for you guys to collect as much data as possible.
Okay. There was another thing thrown up here as you're answering. Yep, we do waivers for paintball, but laser tag locally doesn't require waivers. What about membership systems that the kids have to join, like a profile the kid makes?
That works as well. Memberships work great because it's collecting all that vital information. So as long as in the membership sign-up flow, you're getting their birthday, that's the key to making this whole thing work. The email is important, but the birthday is where you guys are really going to drive a ton of revenue, based on the fact that your average birthday parties are anywhere from $200 to $500, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the bigger ticket items. And that's where we can typically book about 5 to 10 more birthday parties on a month by using that automated system, which is just straight, ROI in your guys' bank account.
Awesome. Well, if anybody has any last minute questions, now is the time to throw them into the Q&A. Adam, thank you so much for your presentation today, for going through everything, for giving folks some things, food for thought on how to continue to get business through the door using data.
Awesome. We also put a link, I think, in chat probably a few times with a landing page that you guys can go to and put in your information. If you guys have any questions or would like to get a demonstration on how Hound works, that is more on a one-to-one basis so we can make it relevant to your business. So we'd love to introduce ourselves to everybody who's on the webinar today. So please just fill out that link with your information and we'll have somebody reach out and walk you through it.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any feedback or have any topics you'd like us to discuss, please be sure to email marketing@partycentersoftware.com. This podcast is a weekly podcast, so you can expect new episodes every Thursday. Party Center Speaks is powered by Party Center Software. We are a facility management tool that helps family entertainment centers and event venues book more parties and manage their facilities. We also offer marketing services such as custom website design and marketing automations to help you expand your reach and grow traffic. If you'd like to know more about us, head over to partycentersoftware.com and please be sure to give us a follow at Party Center Software on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and at Party Center Soft on Twitter. Until next time, thanks for listening.